Steph Curry, 12 threes last night. How many did he have?
56.
God.
56.
Listen, it's well documented here. I don't watch a lot of NBA, okay? I don't like the league. I think the league kind of sucks. And when the Blazers aren't any good, it's just, doesn't mean a lot for our show, so I don't watch a ton of it. It's got a lot of problems, that league. But I tell you what, one thing that isn't a problem for the NBA is Steph freaking Curry.
He's so good.
Dude, he is, and I forget about him. Because the Warriors aren't that relevant anymore. Sorry.
Well, look out. 7-1 since the Jimmy Butler trade.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, you can't count them out.
They were on the outside of the play-in, looking in, and they were getting counted out. Now they've had a little resurgence. I don't think they can make a run or anything, but suddenly they're playing good ball again, and Steph has turned it.
But what year did they last win the title?
22.
22. Yeah, so these last 3 years, whatever. But Steph still there. I don't know how old he is now. Mid-30s by now?
Yeah, he's got to be 30, 33 maybe, 34? Let's find out.
Yeah, why don't you Google that? But I love him. I got to profess my love
He's
for him.
36.
Yeah, he's 36, okay. And he's still kicking some serious ass.
That's right.
The Olympics thing, and... he's just, if you concocted a superstar in a lab, that guy might be what is spit out.
You could not create, at least from the outside looking in, a more perfect image of a superstar. The worst thing anyone has to say about him is that he's annoying for chewing his mouth guard. Like, that's it. What is...
I don't find that annoying, do you?
That what I'm saying is that's the only thing anyone can grasp at.
Yeah.
Or some people have said that his wife's annoying. And it's like, okay, whatever. She tweeted one time that the game was rigged.
Well, off the court, there's not been any problems.
Nothing.
He's a blast to watch.
Yeah. He's electric.
See, that's the thing about LeBron. LeBron's the greatest of all time, in my opinion. But he's not that fun to watch. He's just a tank.
And maybe that's
Steph
the thing is LeBron is physically impressive,
correct,
whereas watching Steph is just fun.
Well, and it's not to say that LeBron doesn't have skill. Obviously,
of course
he's the greatest of all time. But when you talk skill, just basketball skill, Steph Curry just jumps off the page. He is awesome. And he's been awesome for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I know you know him. He's your close personal friend,
That's
Steph
right.
Curry.
Yeah, we're like this.
I just don't think you could ask for a better superstar. My question about him would be, how do you think he goes down in history? Because he's kind of LeBron era overshadowed a little bit, even though they had a nice little rivalry there, and he's won titles.
Well, he and LeBron met 4 times in the titles, and he won 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, should have won 4.
Should have won 4. I mean, I think it's really hard when you have to start comparing eras and what are you going to do with Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain and stuff like that. But as far as we're talking about all-time NBA greats, he's a top 10 player.
Oh, you think so?
I think he
top
is.
10 all-time?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's the greatest shooter that ever lived, and it's
true.
Not close.
And that's going to be, I think, right there. That's his legacy.
That's but then you also see all the things that teams have done to try to stop him, and he still finds ways to score. His ball handling is unbelievable. His finishing at the rim is unbelievable. He's led teams to championships. He's added a gold medal to his resume. He put on the most electric international basketball finish over France that we've seen since ever, on the international stage. I mean, he's got a lot going for that legacy right now.
Yeah, he's awesome. I don't know that he's top 10. I was just looking at the ESPN, what do they do, the 70 best? They did this most recently. They had Shaq, Kobe. This is their top 10. All time, they had Shaq, Kobe.
See, I put him ahead of Shaq.
I don't. I mean, I like him more than Shaq, but...
I mean, Shaq was dominant, but...
Dominant. Absolutely
That's
dominant.
the only unanimous MVP ever.
Mm-hmm. You build a good case.
Had the best offensive season ever.
Tim Duncan is 8. Larry Bird. Wilt Chamberlain. You remember him?
I do.
Magic. Bill Russell. Kareem. Jordan. LeBron. And I can't argue with any of that.
No.
I mean, if you're replacing one guy in the top 10 for Steph Curry, it might be maybe Duncan, maybe, but I don't think so.
I mean, Duncan's got all the same championships that Curry has. I think those guys are really good.
That's a good comp. Yeah.
I mean,
no, you're right.
It's weird because all those guys have different legacies. Like LeBron is obviously a top 10 player of all time, but he's moved around and he's like,
people don't like him.
He's rubbed some people the wrong way. A lot of his game is just physical, brutish force. Yeah, I mean, and then you look at guys like Larry Bird was an amazing basketball player, but and then people say, well, what would he do in today's NBA? Would he be just a guy? I mean, I know he stacked championships and he stacked scoring titles and things like
awesome.
that. But
he'd be a killer,
probably
because he was a killer.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I never thought of Steph as a top 10 guy. I mean, he certainly makes a case. Somebody else brought up the fact that think about the way he changed the game with his, and that's true too.
And maybe now for the worse, because whether it's what all the other teams are just chucking. I mean, but they were the first to kind of do the 3 is better than 2, and we don't care if we miss more of those because we'll end up making more than our opponent. That has contributed to making some of the league unwatchable, and it's contributed to making youth sports terrible. But he's the only guy in the sport since Jordan with the dunk contest has revolutionized it with taking this shot.
Well, you can mimic him. And you can't really mimic LeBron. You can't,
No.
It's just, you have to be built like him.
But the embrace of the 3-pointer is the biggest thing since the embrace of the dunk.
Yeah, for sure. And you said, what'd you say last night? 9 or more 3-pointers in a game.
Yeah, so I have a couple stats on this. The first one that I sent you was that players in the NBA who have had performances of 9 or more 3-pointers in a single game, you have, let's see here, CJ McCollum's got 3 of those games. J.R. Smith's got 5 of them. Ant Simons has 5 of them. James Harden has 9. Dame Lillard has 14. Klay Thompson has 12. Steph has 45. 45 games of 9 or more 3-pointers. And then he obviously kept going. And the other stat that's just as staggering, there have only been 20 games in the history of the league where a player's made 11 or more 3-pointers. How many of those do you think belong to Steph?
How many again?
20 total games where a player's made 11 or more threes.
Well, I'm guessing all of them.
He's got 14 of the 20.
Who are the others?
Well, Klay Thompson had the 3-point single game record for a while. He might still at 14. I think Ant Simons might have had one of those games. But, only 6 other games by any NBA player where there's been 11 3-pointers.
This pertains to nothing, but when I was at Kansas, there was a guy by the name of Downtown Terry Brown.
Okay. I bet Dame has one of those games, by the way, with 11 threes.
11?
Let's find out. It's not going to be hard to find.
And there was a game, I don't even remember who he was playing, but just one magical day at Allen Fieldhouse, we were at the game watching KU play, and Downtown Terry Brown hit 11 threes. And that place was nuts, and it was awesome. I'll never forget it. Downtown Terry Brown. And he never did anything after that. But 11 threes, dude, it was magical. I mean, there's something about the 3-pointer. But Steph, I love the fact that you said Steph is the Tim Duncan of this time. And I think that's right.
Because he's perfect in every way for his team, for the game. And he's not the most popular. That's still LeBron. And he's not the most talked about. That's still a lot of these other guys who are doing the social media stuff, and he's not really very polarizing, but he's just been incredible.
Here's a text. Yeah, he's likely got to be top 10. Think how he changed the game to people just chucking now from deep rather than driving to the lane. He's changed the game. The 2016 NBA Finals will go down as the best 7-game series in NBA history. Best finals, best comeback. It has everything.
But just he lost that though.
Well, yeah, that's LeBron's comeback. But just that finals deserves a documentary. Curry is a top 10 player for sure. Bird would be a star today, but seriously, LeBron is supremely talented besides being a 41-year-old specimen. Yes, of course. Who said LeBron wasn't talented?
Oh, no, nobody. But their skills are very different.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's not to say LeBron's not skilled.
No.
He's just, it's a bit like the Shaq thing in a way. that he's just built differently. Like, you can't stop him. He's a tank.
All right, records for 3-pointers in a game. Klay Thompson has 14. That's the all-time single-game record. Steph Curry, Zach LaVine, and Damian Lillard have done 13 in a game.
Okay. I don't remember Lillard's 13 game.
That was
13 threes.
That was against the Rockets in February of 2023.
Huh. Okay.
He went 13 of 22 from deep. Damn. And then guys who hit 12 in a game, Kobe Bryant, Donyell Marshall, Curry twice, Lillard twice, Klay Thompson 3 times, Keegan Murray.
What?
That's it.
Keegan Murray.
And then there's a bunch of guys who've got 11 in a game. But
well, I'm sorry. I love your boy Steph Curry. I think he's greatness.
I do too.
I love everything about him.
Forgot to mention, he's a golf bro.
He loves golf and he's good at it. And Steph Curry is probably the funnest basketball player to watch. I'm thinking since ... I gotta say it. Jordan.
I think that's right.
I think he's the funnest basketball player since Jordan.
Yeah. I mean, everything from... I still remember covering him in the Bay Area and his pregame routine becoming such a spectacle that people were showing up to the arena like 2 hours early like it was batting practice at a baseball game. It was unbelievable. They wanted to just watch how he warmed up, how shooting it from distance, his tunnel shot, whatever. I mean, people are captivated by the guy in ways that no one's been captivated by a basketball player's talent.
He's got it all, man. And he landed on your team. And you got to go to his house.
3 of his houses.
3 different homes?
Yeah, well,
What were you doing? You were
he kept getting paid, and then they kept moving to bigger homes. But I was before he became a really big deal, and before the Warriors won their first title, his wife was interested in elevating her public profile, and she's in the culinary sphere, and we said that we would be happy to do a monthly cooking feature with her in our Warriors monthly magazine show. And so part of that was like, obviously you say yes to this because it gets you a pass into Steph Curry's house once a month. So we're like, we got to do this. Even if she sucks at cooking, even if she sucks on TV, we still need to go do this. But she was great, and the segment ended up being really popular, and he was a super nice guy. So for 4 seasons in a row, I went to his house once a month during the year.
And what was he doing while she was doing the
it was funny, like, because they had like young kids at the time, or were having kids around that time, and so she usually didn't want to schedule it if he was going to be gone at practice or gone on the road. So we were almost guaranteed to be there around him all the time. And mostly he was just taking care of the kids so she could do the cooking segment.
Yeah. Take these S-heads while I go on TV.
But then he would always be a good sport and throw a microphone on and like come in for the taste test of the food afterwards. And he was the one who asked me and a cameraman if we wanted to sit down and have lunch with him one of these days. And like, just super gracious guy.
What do you order?
His wife made shrimp and grits. It's delicious.
Ooh, shrimp and grits, huh?
Yeah.
I can't get behind that dish.
Okay, well, you don't have to.
I do love shrimp. And I love Steph Curry. So, there we go. A little hot Steph Curry talk. 12 threes last night, 56 points, still doing his thing.
Did you see the other thing that he basically is now the owner of February 27th on the calendar?
Why?
It was also the night he hit the famous double bang Mike Breen shot against Oklahoma City. That was his 11th three of the game and was a game winner. Mm-hmm. And then it was also the night of his first 50-point game in Madison Square Garden when he scored 54. So he's had 3 50-point performances, or a 40 and 2 50s on February the 27th.
And man, can he hit an 8-iron.
I wonder what his best club is.
What's your best club?
What's my best club?
Yeah. What club do you... Isn't it weird how you feel more comfortable with a I mean...
Yeah, it's my 4 hybrid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like I can knock that thing straight 185, 200 anytime I want.
You give me a pitching wedge 130.
Yeah.
I'm going to be money.
Okay.
At least I feel that.
I used to feel that way.
Confident.
Less so these days with the irons.
Well, anyway, a couple people bringing up Allen Iverson. Steph Curry, the most fun to watch since Allen Iverson.
Iverson was really fun to watch.
He was. Curry, I think more so.
Yeah, Curry a better scorer. I mean, Iverson could get to the bucket, and he had to be really creative with how he handle the ball because he was so little.
Did you ever get to see Steph naked? Somebody asked on the text line.
Never did see Steph naked. No.
Wow.
It is weird though. You cover sports long enough, and you've been in enough locker rooms, and you see someone pop up on TV, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that person's penis."
Yeah, I've seen him naked. Saw Yao Ming naked. That's my
Is that yours?
claim to fame. Yeah, after the Blazers Rockets playoff game, went into the visiting locker room. Oh, dude, that guy. You ever see him up close? Or
I've been in like the
his
same arena as him, but I've never stood
like right next to him.
No.
His sheer size. I mean, dude, he is an. I don't know. It's hard to even describe that dude up close.
I also think,
and I'm not even talking about his nude body.
Sure, just the sheer
Just
size
him.
of like
I'm trying
a
to keep it clean,
7'4" guy. Yeah.
His legs are like bigger than me.
Like
it's
tree
like
trunks.
two of me as his legs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
It's crazy.
It's insane.